to not behave in a way that increases your chances of avoiding this terrible place. 3, even if biblical theists do obey biblical morality, at least in part out of fear of hell or of punishment in this life, so what? The atheist in raising this claim talks like it is bad to have your morality based in fear. But how does the atheist even know what bad is? To the atheist, there is no God-given absolute moral code. Without such an authoritative code that we can all agree is right and the one we should all follow, everyone is left to do whatever they do based on their own personal opinion of whatever they happen to think is good or bad at the time and for whatever reason they have for so thinking. Well, if it's all a matter of everyone's personal opinion, then a lot of us are of the opinion that it is good to at least partially base our morality upon fear. According to the atheist view, our personal opinion on the matter is just as good as his. So the atheist is irrational to even criticize us for our alleged motivation of obeying out of fear. Okay, gotta read, sorry. All right, see, they're big on this dogmatism. Oh, dogmatism, bad. Religion produces a dogmatism in adherents, especially children, that have no choice in what they are taught by their parents, and that inhibits their ability to think clearly and to cooperate with others whose beliefs differ from theirs. So what if religion leads to dogmatism? What is dogmatism? Let's check it out. What is dogma? These are secularist code words that allege unreasonable beliefs and attitudes. But if you look at the definitions of these words, you see that the atheist's use of and condemnation with these words is dishonest and irrational. A doctrine. Can you read it? I'm going to read anyway, but, read with me. A doctrine is a principle or body of principles presented for acceptance or belief. Now, often it is by a religious, political, scientific, or philosophic group. Any group. It's just a body of principles presented for acceptance or belief. It's a belief accepted as authoritative by some group or school. A dogma is a system of principles or tenets, as of a church, but it could be a scientific, philosophical group too. It's a settled or established opinion, belief, or principle. It's an authoritative principle, belief, or statement of ideas or opinion. Okay, to be dogmatic is asserting opinions in a doctrinaire or arrogant manner. It's opinionated, characterized by an authoritative, arrogant assertion of unproved or unprovable principles. Dictatorial. Okay, dogma, that doesn't sound good, does it? Of or pertaining to a characteristic of a doctrine or a code of beliefs accepted as authoritative, and dogmatism is dogmatic character, unfounded positiveness in matters of opinion, arrogant assertion of opinions as truths, etc. Okay, but if we go back and look at dogma, it's a settled or established opinion, belief, or principle. These definitions show that dogma and dogmatic, though often associated with so-called institutionalized religion and religious belief, are not required or limited to that association. Any opinion or assertion held to be established as true is a doctrine of the group that holds it. We can see, then, that the protest atheists make with these terms is dishonest and irrational. Dogma and dogmatism per se are not the problem. It is having a false dogma that you are dogmatic about, believing and unreasonably monopolistically advocating in an arrogant way, that makes it the problem. But it's having false dogma. But atheists have not demonstrated that biblical dogma and doctrine and the various levels of commitment to it are false. They haven't shown the biblical dogma is wrong. To pursue the point that being dogmatic is not the problem here, consider a truth such as 2 + 2 = 4. This is a very narrow, dogmatic, and divisive statement, to be sure. Just look at how narrow 2 + 2 = 4 is. This statement rejects as false every single number in the whole range of numbers, in the infinite series of fractions, whole numbers, and whatever else there is, from minus infinity to plus infinity. How more narrow can you be? But it's still true, isn't it? Being narrow, dogmatic, and divisive about this matter does not make the answer 4 incorrect. It is still true. And so it is with all truth. All truth is narrow, dogmatic, and divisive. So when you hear people advocating an acceptance of all claims and beliefs as equal, you need to realize that whether they are just ignorant or actually deceptive, what they are really saying is that all claims and beliefs are false, including Christianity. Such a claim is irrational and dangerous. The atheist claim that religion leads to dogma is a hypocritical double standard. The atheist, too, has their principles or body of beliefs that they accept, that they present for acceptance, don't they? And you listen to them talk, they're pretty dogmatic about it. They're doctrinaire about it. They teach these to be accepted. So atheism has dogma. So by its own argument, religion is morally bad for people, it produces dogmatism. Well, then atheism ought to be rejected according to their own argument, shouldn't it? Isn't that their argument? So by their own argument, atheism ought to be rejected. But no, the atheist doesn't mean his dogma is bad. No, his dogma is good. It's only theist dogma which is bad. And atheists are, at least the vocal ones, are very dogmatic about their religion. Remember the moral claim we did that one. Remember that? Ooh. Okay, sorry. Remember, all right, we're dealing with religion is morally bad for people. It's about time we define religion, don't you think? I know that this fact is very successfully obscured, and atheists work diligently to keep it that way, but atheism is a religion. Consider the following definitions. A set of beliefs concerning the cause, nature, and purpose of the universe. Atheists have a set of beliefs on that. A cause, principle, or activity pursued with zeal or conscientious devotion. They're pretty zealous about their beliefs. Belief is an opinion or conviction. Confidence in the truth or existence of something not immediately susceptible to rigorous proof. Confidence, faith, trust. Mental acceptance of and conviction in the truth, actuality, or validity of something. Something believed or accepted as true. Okay? These definitions show that religion and belief, though often associated with so-called institutionalized religion and religious belief, are not required or limited to that association. Any unproven belief, any unproven opinion or assertion held to be true is part of a religion and is a religious belief of one group or another.